Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I cover all things horror from indie gems to big international horror movie releases. Today we're talking about a movie that's been generating some buzz in the Asian horror scene, Kafir, The Spirit Gate, the 2026 sequel to the earlier Indonesian hit Kafir. This is an intense supernatural horror film that continues the story 8 years after the events of the first movie. We follow Shri, the survivor of a terrifying black magic encounter, as she tries to shield her family from a powerful dark curse, deeply connected to her own hidden past sins. The film blends family drama with escalating occult terror, creating a story that feels personal and deeply unsettling at the same time. Right off the bat, I have to say I really enjoyed the original Kafir film as well, but the this sequel is a stronger film for me. It's scarier, bloodier, and significantly more entertaining. The filmmakers have clearly taken what worked in the first movie and amplified it. There's more tension, higher stakes, and some sequences that generally left me squirming in my seat. If the first film set their foundation, this sequel builds a much more haunting and visceral experience on top of it. One of the absolute highlights is the character of the grandmother. She's absolutely frightening, easily one of the most memorable horror figures I've seen this year. Her screen presence is magnetic and terrifying. The way she moves, the facial expressions, and the aura she carries make every scene with her feel dangerous and scary. And huge props to the actress for delivering such a chilling performance. Also, loved that the film doesn't lean too heavily on cheap jump scares. Instead, it builds dread through some strong visuals, moody atmosphere, and excellent acting across the board. The slow burn moments allow the horror to seep in gradually, making the payoff hit much harder when things finally and shit hit the fan, if you know what I mean. The violence is brutal in the best way possible, of course. We have to also talk about the production realities. As usual with Indonesian horror, um, budget restraints are obvious. The special effects are a bit dodgy in certain scenes. Some of the CGI don't doesn't hold up well as they could, but I completely understand the situation. Indonesian movies simply don't have the massive budgets that big Western studios enjoy, and the team here clearly maximized what they had available. It doesn't completely break the immersion, but it's something horror fans will notice if when they watch this movie. On the story side, Kafir the Spirit Gate doesn't reinvent the wheel for the Indonesian horror genre. The plot is quite predictable if you're familiar with curse driven supernatural stories and black magic folklore and also family centered horror from this region. You'll likely see most of the major beats coming. However, even with that predictability, the film remains engaging because of its strong execution, committed performances, and also willingness to go for the throat with its bloody visceral horror. The pacing is solid for the most part. It takes its time building the family dynamics and the weight of Shri's past before unleashing the heavier supernatural elements. The sound design and cinematography help create a claustrophobic, oppressive feeling that suits the material perfectly, even if the effects occasionally let it down. Kafir, The Spirit Gate is a worthwhile sequel that improves on its predecessor in the areas that matter most. For horror fans, scares, bloodshed, and sheer entertainment value. It may not break new ground in the genre, but it delivers a scary, visceral experience that's perfect for a late night watch when you're in the mood for something dark and intense. If you enjoyed the first movie or you're a fan of atmospheric Asian horror with strong cultural roots, I recommend checking this one out. It's not perfect, but it's a bloody good time that respects the traditions of Indonesian supernatural storytelling while giving audiences what they want. I also found this movie not to be as preachy as a lot of those Indonesian horror movies, which I also liked about this movie. This movie, depending on your region, is playing on Netflix. So you might need to put on a VPN on your computer if you plan on watching it, because I might not be in your area yet. But do check Netflix to see if it's playing on Netflix. I know in Australia it is, but I'm not sure if it's out in on Netflix around the world yet. So my score for this movie is 3.5 stars out of 5. While it's not perfect, it is really entertaining and scary, and also more brutal than the first movie, I thought. So if you like this sort of content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more upcoming horror movie reviews in the future. There's a lot of horror movies coming out this year that I want to watch, and I will be reviewing on my YouTube channel cinema horror movies as well as movies that are on video on demand. So if you want to see me review these movies, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.